I'm Grace Torrey, and you're listening to That Girl the Podcast. Grab a beverage of choice and settle in, because the new episode is starting now. Hey guys, what is up? It's your girl, Grace Torrey, and I am back with a whole new podcast episode. What was that? Okay, today we are going to be talking about vision boards, how I create my vision boards for the new year, how I create my vision boards for the month, and most importantly, how I make sure that my vision boards actually come true. I say I have a pretty high success rate when it comes to my vision boards. I usually focus on about 5 different areas with each vision board I make, and I would say at least 3 of those come true, if not all 5. So I think I have it down pat, and I feel confident telling you guys my routine. I think I did a vision board podcast episode a while back, but this one is definitely a new and improved, updated version, so I'm excited to share it with you guys. As we all know, 2024 is just around the corner, and I know everyone is still drinking their hot chocolate and enjoying what time of year it is currently, but unfortunately, it is time to start thinking about the new year. Obviously, you can create goals whenever you want, but for me, I tend to make vision boards the first of the year as well as once a month, and I'll get into why I do that shortly. So I started thinking about it. My vision board for 2023 was a pretty big one. I think it had like 250 pictures in it, and it was a huge thing. It's my laptop screensaver, and then I also made like a video version of it. So it was a big thing that took quite a bit of time, so that's why I'm starting early and kind of getting my thoughts together. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into my routine, how I decide what to put on my vision board, what I choose to focus on, and kind of the science behind vision boards, manifesting, law of attraction, all of those things, because as we all know, it's all connected. So yeah, let's jump in. So before we jump into how I create my vision boards, I kind of want to talk about the science behind it and what for me works best, what you can do to kind of figure out what works best for you, and so forth. So a vision board is a way that you can visually look at, well, that's what look at means, what you want to achieve, what goals you want, what you want to happen in your life, what you want to manifest. So for me, I'm a very visual person. Visualization is how I like to manifest. I don't know if you're familiar what SATS is, but it's when like you go to bed at night. I'm gonna butcher this, but it's when you are about to go to sleep, you vision what you want to come true, and you just like fall asleep thinking about what you want to come true and visualizing it. So that's what I do a lot. I'm a big visual person when it comes to manifesting. When I meditate, I like to lay down and just like visualize what I'm mainly focused on manifesting. But as we know, manifestation is a science. So as it goes, how they like to explain it to everyone and how I understand manifesting is the energy that you put forth into the world is the energy that you are going to attract. Like attracts like. So if you're putting out the energy that you are someone who has this beautiful car and you want to attract a beautiful car into your life, and you are just giving out that energy that you are someone who has that, then according to the law of manifestation, you are going to get that beautiful car. So if you are a visual person, you like to manifest visually, doing a vision board is great for that. I am not going to tell you what I visualize or what I am currently manifesting because I just don't like to share what I'm manifesting until it happens. But I will use the example of my Bronco because I manifested getting a 2023 Bronco this year, and that was on my vision board for last year, and I got it in June. I like to use human design when I'm trying to figure out the best way to manifest. If you're not familiar with human design, it's kind of similar to horoscopes, but not really. It's you put your birth date and what time you were born and all those things in, and then it will kind of tell you a bunch of things about yourself and what environment you work best in and how you manifest and all those things. But why this is important to me is, one, I found out I'm a generator, which is a type of human design, which means I put energy out into the world. And most people are generators. It's one of the more common ones. But more importantly, it let me know that I am a specific manifester. So when I manifest things, there's 2 different ways that you can do it. You can be very general and say, oh, I want a new car. Or you can be very specific, and again, I'm using the car example. I said I want a 2023 green Bronco. And I did go a little bit more deeper in saying I want an Outer Banks, and that was like on paper what I wanted, but when it came to actually manifesting it, I was honestly happy with any kind of Bronco that was green, and I ended up getting a black diamond. So I think that being open to having different options of your manifestation is good to a certain extent, but if you manifest better when you are specific, then that's what you need to do. So definitely check out your human design, see if you manifest more specifically or if you manifest more generally, because that's going to aid in how you manifest, which is really important when it comes to looking at your vision board, writing out your manifestations and things like that. So now that I've kind of explained what I did to narrow down what works best for me, as we know, I am a specific manifester, I took that and ran with it. So the first thing I do for my yearly vision board, we will do that one first, is I write down on a blank piece of paper 2024 goals, and I try and break it up into different columns. So this year I chose 4 areas I wanted to focus in, and so the first is career, and this is in no specific order. The second is health, which is all aspects of health. Relationship, which I feel like should always be one for me, at least it always is one, and then etc. So like little miscellaneous things that I couldn't fit into one of those areas, but it wasn't enough to put in like a huge column. So those are the 4 areas I chose to focus on, and then I just wrote down anything that came to mind that I would like to happen this year, and I didn't put any limitations on it. That is the key to manifesting. I did say, okay, I want this to happen in 5 years versus I want this to happen this year, and only wrote down things I wanted to happen this year in 2024. While they are crazy things, while some of them are small things, like it's everything from drink more water to have a certain level of a salary. So it is a wide range of things that are kind of shooting for the stars and things that are very easy to implement. But I just brainstormed and wrote down every little thing that I thought of. Now, what I'm going to do from here is I'm definitely going to put every single thing on my vision board. That's why I said it's going to be like a 250, probably 300 picture vision board that's going to take a long time. I am going to put everything on there to some extent. But the things that I'm more focused on, like my number 1 things, probably my top 5 things or so, I am going to write down in extreme detail what it is. And that's bringing that specific part in. So if I want to have a certain, I'm just going to grab an example. I'll talk about the car again. If I wanted to have a specific car, I would write down a couple sentences about the exact car, how I feel in that car, because emotion is a huge part of manifesting. Energy is what you give off, and what you give off is based on your emotions and your feelings. You can write down something all day, but if you don't feel that way, energy is going to pick up on that. So make sure that it is something that you feel positively about and you are giving off a positive, vibrant energy, that you feel good about this thing and it is something you're really confident in. So I would probably write, I don't think I have it from last year anywhere, but I would probably write, if I was talking about the Bronco, I am so blessed now that I have, because you always talk in present tense, now that I have a 2023 Outer Banks green Bronco that is 4-door. I ended up getting a 2-door. At the time I wanted a 4-door. It drives so well. I am so grateful, because you always want to talk about how grateful you are. Gratitude is a very strong emotion to bring in, so it's very important that you bring gratitude, love, and kindness in when you can. But I'm so grateful now that I'm able to drive where I need to go. I have a car that is beautiful and makes me feel confident that I am able to do the things I need to do each day. I'm so proud of myself for working hard to get this car. And that is just something I would write. It's an example. If you're more general and you manifest better generally, I would probably write something like, I'm so blessed now that I have a new car. I am so grateful that I can get to where I need to go and get everything done within a day. I'm so glad that this happened to me or something. I'm so glad that I finally was able to achieve this. Because one thing I will say is you don't want to talk about how. You never want to say how. You definitely can, but I've found that it delays manifestations for me. If I'm so focused on how I'm going to get something, then the universe is like, okay, we have to make that happen. And not only is it focusing on the what of something coming, it's focusing on the how of something coming, and it makes it a lot more like difficult. And some people disagree with that and say like get as specific and as demanding, I guess, as you want, because the universe is going to bend to what you say, and that's great. But for me, I have a lot of self-doubt, so I'm not the strongest manifester in the world. There are some people who can snap their fingers and it'll happen. I'm not there yet, and I have self-awareness to know that. So I have found that when I am not focused on the how and I'm more focused on the what and trusting that it's going to come to me and I don't need to worry about the how and my anxiety doesn't need to focus on that, then it comes a lot quicker. So don't focus on the how, focus on the what you want, and the universe will take care of the rest, or God, or whatever you believe in, the scientific energy of the universe. So now that I've kind of written down those 5 things in extreme detail, I am going to go on Pinterest. This is the fun part. And I'm going to make a board called 2024. You can title it whatever you want. I like the look of 2024, and in my mind, I'm cementing that this is going to happen in 2024. This is my 2024. So I just write 2024. And then I look at my board and say, okay, I want a green Bronco. And I type in green Bronco aesthetic on Pinterest. I've found that if I don't type aesthetic, I don't get the cutest pictures, and I always want it to be pictures that I relate to, I feel are like visually pleasing or whatever. So I'll write aesthetic, I'll write cute, I'll write like, you know, some sort of thing to curate it to what I want. And then I'll probably get like 2 to 3 pictures for that. If it's something like work out more, I'll do like someone who has the body that I want that is working out at the gym. And then I don't really like to put faces in it, so if it's like from the neck down, that's better for me, because I want to visualize this is myself doing that. Like, I don't want to see some other girl doing that. I want to look at my vision board and be like, oh my gosh, that is my body. Because the whole point is you're visualizing yourself doing it. So I will do that for every single thing on my list. Some things I'll just do one thing for, like drink more water. Some things I'll combine, like drink more water and eat healthier, or cook at home. I'll get pictures of healthy food at home or in a kitchen setting. Those are just examples, but I'll combine things, I'll do like that. And then when I look at my list and I feel like everything is checked off, there's a couple things I do for my yearly vision board. First thing is I go on Canva and I make screensavers. I usually just do my laptop because my laptop is what I primarily work on. So I'm seeing it a lot, and that way I kind of have like that going for me. I have had some issues with getting all the pictures onto Canva, so sometimes I'll use Pixar. I'll use whatever. I like using Canva the most because it gives me the most freedom to kind of curate things, put them where I want. Sometimes I'll do it on my iPad so I can use like my hands and use the touch screen instead of just having to drag it, but I will do what I can to get all of these pictures onto Canva and get it loaded. Also, I will make a TikTok moment where it's like one of those videos that I make for every single month where you just like go through every single picture to the music. I do that. Like I said, it is a ton of pictures, so those are usually like 4 or 5 minutes long by the time I get done with them. And I do post them on TikTok and Instagram. However, it's more of like for me to look back on. I also will go through on Canva throughout the entire year, and if I achieve something, I change the saturation to black and white just so that I can cross it off. You can do this the opposite way and make sure the saturation on every single picture is on black and white and then make it colorful once you achieve it. I feel like that's more aesthetic. But I'm just too lazy to go and make everything black and white, because if you're doing that for 300 pictures, it can definitely take a while. So I just do it the opposite way, and that way I can look at it and say, okay, this is how much I've achieved. So that is what I do for the year, and I look back on it throughout the year. I look through it on Pinterest. When I need motivation, I go and look at it, and it helps me outline my monthly vision boards. So at the beginning of every month, usually the last day of the month, I think about the new month, what I want to achieve, and what my main goals are. I usually pick 3 pillars, 3 things I want to work on that usually align with my yearly board. So I think for December, it was focus on family, focus on finishing the things out, like any unfinished projects that I had for the year, and then focus on planning the new year. So that one was a little different. Sometimes it'll be like, I really want to focus on my career, I really want to focus on my small business, I really want to focus on working out, and depending on what I'm more focused on for that month, that is what it's going to be more curated towards, but it also aligns with my yearly goals in some way. It's just broken down more so that I have like 2 or 3 things that I'm really, really focused on that month. And I still work on everything. Those are just the 2 or 3 things I want to knock out and really, really take control of that month. And I will do up to 5 things. So instead of writing everything down, you can do that. You totally can do that. The more thought you put into it, the better. But for me, I am just kind of lazy, and I don't know. I don't feel like writing it all down and doing the whole journaling thing again, but I want to get back into it. So what I do is I just focus on Pinterest. I make a board that says June 2023, or the month and the date, because in my head, that is what I'm doing for the month. Like, that is the thing. So whatever that month and year is, I start looking for pictures that align with what I want to do. Podcasting pictures, working out pictures, eating healthy pictures, all of those things I do look at and then incorporate them into there. I usually do between 40 and 70 pictures for each month, and then instead of doing a lock screen or anything like that, I just do a TikTok for it, or I just, make a TikTok like video. I post it on my TikTok and my Instagram, and it's something that I can look back on. It helps me structure my new month. It helps me get into that mindset, and it keeps me on track. So let's review. What do I do to make sure my vision boards come true? 1, I did some research, found out my human design, spent a lot of time meditating to kind of figure out my mind and how my mind works. Figured out that I'm big into visualizing. That's why I vision board in the first place. If you are someone who does better scripting or does better in whatever manifesting way works best for you, definitely do that. But if you're not a visual person and you're trying to do vision boards, it may not work for you. Like, I was trying to script and I felt no connection to it. It didn't work for me. Like, writing things out over and over and over, it did not work for me, and I figured out I'm a visual person. So if you're not a visual person, maybe look into all the different types of manifesting, see what works best for you, and go from there. But for me, I'm very visual. So after I spent time meditating, figuring out how visual or whatever I am and what works best for me, I went on to write a list of all the things I wanted to manifest. This just kind of gets my mind in the right place. It gets my energy out there. I'm putting it into the world. This is what I want. Round 1, let's go. Then I make like 3 to 5 goals that are my top ones for the year and write those out, get really, really specific about those, and really, really just visualize the exact thing that I want. I don't talk about the how. I don't focus on how it's going to happen. I don't get anxiety about how it's going to happen. I just put into the world that I already have this thing, and I'm so grateful that I have it. Then I go on Pinterest, write everything down, have a good time, find some fun pictures, put those pictures on a Canva thing, make a big poster, put that poster on my lock screen of my laptop, but you can also hang it on your wall, make a lock screen for your phone, make a video, whatever you want to do. Get creative with it. Just make sure you're looking at these pictures often. Then I make a TikTok or /Instagram. I do that in CapCut, and I put all the pictures in there, make sure they hit the beats, because it really bothers me if they're not on beat with the music. And then I post it, and then I move on to the monthly one, which is 40 to 70 pictures focused on 2 to 5 things that I really, really want to achieve that month. Do the same thing where I get Pinterest pictures that really resonate with me, are really cute, make a video for that, post that. And one final thing that I did not mention is every morning I say what I'm thankful for, and I say I'm thankful for things that I do and don't have. So every morning I say, what's something I really want to manifest? Before I had my car, every morning I would say things like, I'm so grateful for my family. I'm so grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for my pets. I'm grateful for my boyfriend and a loving relationship. I am grateful for my car, my new car that I love so much. I'm grateful for my house. And I would just go on and just sprinkle things that I am excited to get with things that I already have. Because if I'm sprinkling it in, it's more natural and the gratitude is more genuine. And it's showing, like, the universe, God, whatever you believe in, I'm putting the energy out there that I am ready for this, I'm grateful for it, and I am just living in a state of gratitude always. So I do that every single morning when I drive to work, and I have noticed a difference. It's not like the biggest difference in the world, but it's definitely a big thing that I feel like puts me in a better mood if nothing else. I also do I am statements, so I am loving, I am worthy, I am kind. If I'm really struggling to manifest something and it's really getting to my head, I am a master manifester, and I take a break from manifesting for a little while, because the less you think about it and the more you are grateful, kind, loving, and you allow it to happen, the more likely and the quicker it's going to happen. So those are, I think, some pretty big tips. I hope that you guys got something out of this, that you make your vision boards. Tag me in them. I want to see them. They are so fun to make. I love doing them. It's just like a good way to get your mind ready for the new year or the new month or whatever you were trying to do. It's a good way to kind of hone in all of your thoughts into goals and funnel everything into some attainable goals. And also you can do pictures of like the steps to achieve something. So example, I want to lose a certain amount of pounds in the new year. I have gained some weight, and it's not that I like think that I'm overweight. It's just more of a mental thing. I feel more mentally sluggish, so I want to eat better and get to the gym more so that mentally I feel better. So obviously the things that I do to, or anyone would do to lose weight, is eat better, go to the gym more, things like that. So my pictures could be eating better, going to the gym. It doesn't have to be someone who's 30 pounds smaller than me, like super literal. So have fun with it, be creative with it. As long as you look at that picture and it reminds you of what you want to do or that goal you want to achieve, then it can be any picture in the world. So I hope you got some helpful insight out of this. Comment below if you're on a platform where you're capable of doing that, and let me know what your favorite tip was. Let me know if you end up making vision boards. Definitely tag me on Instagram and TikTok if you do that and you end up posting them. My TikTok and Instagram are both That Girl the Pod. They are linked down below. Also, don't forget to follow on whatever platform you are currently on and leave a rating and review. It takes about 2 seconds. It means the absolute world to me. Don't forget to share with a friend who you think would also enjoy this podcast or this podcast episode. I upload every single Sunday and Wednesday. If you're watching this on Sunday, the night that it comes out, I hope you have a great night. If you're watching this on any other day, I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, or night. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next podcast episode. Bye, guys.